Okay, guys, welcome back to another stream. Hope everyone is doing well. As always, guys, if you are looking at any pairs, want to ask any questions, share any trades, feel free to do that in the chat. We'll discuss, take a look together. If you have been enjoying the streams or you're new to the streams, please be sure to drop a like and subscribe. And also make sure you do hit the bell so you don't miss out on any streams or uploads in the future because you will be notified. But guys, welcome back to another stream. Good morning, William. Okay, no problem, my man. Have a good day off. We'll see you tomorrow. Thank you for the like, though. I really appreciate that. Holy One of Israel, welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing well. Raheel, USD CAD. Yes, we'll take a look at that one. Philip, what is up? Good morning. Okay, nice. Part of the routine. I like that. No problem, my man. No problem. I'm glad you enjoy them. Yes, we'll go through US 100 JPY pairs. Of course, doing what the JPY pairs do best, and doing some nonsense this morning. But yeah, we'll go through that. Good morning, Just Football. Hope you're well. Hello, to Israel. Yeah, yeah. Euro JPY did burn me this morning. We'll go through that as well. Break that down, and we'll go through a bunch of other yen pairs, USD CAD as well. And yeah, if there's any other pairs, just drop it down. We'll get to it eventually. Good morning, Forex Trader. Welcome to the stream. Tony Gold, what is up? Hope you're well. Osem, what is up? Yes, we'll go through some JPY pairs. So yeah, we had another move down for the JPY pairs. Pretty bearish, as we can all see. I was in a position around here. Let me darken that so we can actually see. So yeah, I was in a position around there. Took my stop loss just below the low. And I was looking for continuation. We had a really nice area in the daily chart, came to some really nice confluence, long-standing trend line, some really nice structure, which we're retesting as well, and had some nice rejections. So things were looking good. Did see some nice upside. However, it didn't really get going. JPY just kind of stayed strong. Stayed strong overall. So although we did see a bit of upside, it wasn't much. And as we can see, we did break lower and eventually did take my trade out there. So I have walked away with a loss with that one. And things are looking pretty bearish. And the key thing for me, especially with Euro Yen, is potentially we are breaking through that same trend line. Again, trend lines for me is not the be all or end all of a trend or anything, but it's definitely an important piece of structure. And if you do break a trend line, it's a sign that the trend is weakening. Not necessarily reversing, but definitely weakening. And we might be going through a bigger pullback, or maybe we are going through a potential reversal. So yeah, we are breaking through that. Of course, the daily candle is still fairly young. We've still got 11 hours and 51 minutes before it does close. So who knows, potentially might pull back by the end of the day. But yeah, if we do close something like this, that's not a good sign for JPY, and it might take us a lot lower. This is the price swing low. That could be our next stop for Euro JPY. So at that point, you're probably looking at some shorts for the JPY pairs, at least counter trend opportunities. Nothing crazy. If I scale to the hourly chart, something like this on another pullback, another lower high somewhere, retest some structure. Again, let's make sure we can see that. Fantastic. Retest some structure. Maybe this swing low there. Look for another lower high and then the push lower. That would make sense to me. That would make sense for me, at least intraday, intra-week. Yeah, for Euro Yen, maybe we get a solid candle closure today, and then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, looking at pullback to more downside, back to 168.5. And then we see where we go from there. Because a break of 168.5, which would be this low, would be very, very pivotal for Euro Yen. I mean, some other yen pairs a little bit closer, and we'll get to them in a moment, but Euro Yen breaking through that's not a good sign. Again, I'm not as expecting us to absolutely melt to the downside. I think we'll probably go through a bigger correction, something like we did over, maybe something like this that we did over there. It was a bigger correction, maybe a bit of sideways, and then we eventually went bullish. Maybe something like this, or even something like this. We could go through a deeper correction, and then eventually the market might push up at a later date. So that's kind of what I'm looking for Euro Yen and the rest of the yen pairs. We are seeing some red flags here for the buyers. A couple other yen pairs already did break through some key trend lines, CAD yen, dollar yen from last week. Euro yen's following suit. Pound yen, I'm still liking this area here, which I drew up yesterday. Similar area. I do think we can catch a bounce from there, so I will be keeping a close eye for pound yen. But again, we may be going through that bigger correction, so I'm keeping a close eye on that. I mean, New Zealand yen's coming down really hard. Aussie yen, that's coming down pretty hard as well. Dollar yen's not looking good. CHF JPY is breaking out that consolidation as well. So I'm looking to see what we can do in the retest of this high here. So generally speaking, I'm still pretty bullish on the yen pairs. It's just that, number one, we might be seeing a bigger pullback than anticipated. And we have to kind of wait for that to level out, start showing some signs of a higher low being put in place. If not, we can continue falling. But yeah, pound yen I do like because it's got the same confluence, but we'll see. I'll keep an eye for price action. So yeah, we'll take a look at USD CAD as well. We'll go through US 100 too. I'll take a look at pound yen and Swiss yen in a bit more detail. What's up, Manzondi? Welcome to the stream. Hope you're well. Antonio, what's up from Memphis? Nice. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing good. So yeah, guys, any pairs you're looking at, feel free to drop it down in the chat. I'll take a look at US 100. So US 100, I'm still looking for a bigger pullback for this one for some sales, but I'm still very, very bullish on the market. You know, as we can all see, this is definitely a very bullish market. So any sales we're looking at is not going to be for a prolonged period of time. It's just because there's a good short-term sell opportunity, which 100% I would look to take. But I'm well aware that I'm expecting the buyers to kick in at some point and take this back to the highs. So as I said yesterday, after this really nice impulse to the downside, I'm looking for a pullback, which looks like it's at the moment happening. Looking for a pullback to retest some structure around 20K or 2150. So either this high here or that low. It's kind of like a big head and shoulder pattern with the left over there, the head over there, and possibly a right shoulder at one of these two areas for a move down. So I'm liking how we're setting up here for NAS. It does look like we can see some more downside. Had a lot of momentum here with the bearish leg. So I do think we will spill over. But like I said, I do think eventually we'll form that higher low and keep pushing higher. So keep an eye on 20K because we're not too far away from that. We could make a move potentially today or tomorrow to get to that area. And then we could see some nice opportunities following after. And yeah, I'll look to try and take that back into the prior low. So if you do pull back to that area up there, I'll then look to short back to the low. And then see where we can go from there. But I like the downside for NAS. Other indices, not too much. But NAS looks good. Okay, so yeah, I'll go through a couple more of the yen pairs in detail, pound yen and Swiss yen in detail. We'll take a look at USD CAD first. I'll go for dollar yen as well, just football, no problem. All is well. Good to hear. Good to hear. What's up, Lesogo? Hope you are well. Welcome. What's up, Casperio? Welcome to the stream. Rick, good morning. Welcome to the stream. Hope everyone is doing good this morning. So yeah, I'll take a quick look at USD CAD. So yeah, USD CAD, there's not really too much for me to say. Price action is still very, very difficult with this one. I did mention this on my weekly analysis. And I did say, if we do get back to the high, naturally you're looking for a short because evidently, the two prior times we reached this high, one over there, really nice rejection, second over there, really nice rejection. We could see that a third time, not necessarily all the way back down, which could happen, but even if we just come a quarter of the way, you can still probably look for a nice 1 to 2, 1 to 1, maybe 1 to 3, depending on your entry there. So you don't really have to look for the home run. Even a short reaction, just even a nice bearish candle there on the daily could end up being a really nice position. On the 4 hour, it does look like price is slowing down. It's been a really nice move, prolonged move, but we are definitely slowing down. So as we do approach 1.377, This to me looks like a nice sell. This to me looks like a nice sell. I'll wait for some more rejection though. At the moment, it's kind of very, very corrective. What would be nice, maybe a nice wick into the high, and then a nice bearish engulfing candle. That would be a really nice signal. Stop loss above the high, and then you got a nice trade in your hands. But essentially, if you look to the left, really nice rejection. Oh, really nice rejection over there. So this is a nice place for a sell. It's either price is going to break through and continue a lot higher, or we're going to respect this area and see some downside. At the moment, based on how price is moving, I would expect price to at least show some respect to that area. Like I said, it might not be a full swing back to the low. I do think we can see some downside, maybe coming back to retest this area. Let me just use the line tool. So yeah, something like that. So yeah, I'll say some shorts for USD CAD. If we just go and break through, then there could be some breaking retest there to buy, but we'll cross that bridge when it appears. For now, I do like the sells there for USD CAD. Not my type of trade, but it's definitely a nice place for a sell, I must admit. So yeah, that's what I'll be looking at for USD CAD. It's a ranging market. We've got really nice resistance above us, really nice support below us. We're fluctuating between those two levels. As we're approaching this area of resistance, you're looking for sells. So yeah, USD CAD can see some downside in terms of pound yen and CHF JPY and dollar yen. So pound yen, as I mentioned before, I still do like the buys for this one as we approach 200.5. That'll be an area I'll be looking to see if we can plot some buys. In the meantime, there's a lot of bearish momentum. And if you're on the lower time frames, like maybe hourly, 30-minute, 15, I think for now, if you're looking at day trades, I think sells make the most sense. So if you were to see a correction back up again, another lower high, I think that would be a nice short to trade it back to the area I want to buy from. Something like this will make a lot of sense. Maybe retesting this area, might even have a deeper pullback to here. Either which way, though, to me, that looks like a nice sell intraday. So I'm not expecting that to go for too long because we're coming up to some big areas below us. But if you're looking at intraday, I would say wait for some pullbacks in the low time frames, hourly, 30, maybe even 15 if you're going right down to the low time frames, and then some shorts around 202, 500. Make a lot of sense to me. Same with Euro Yen, which I just mentioned as well. We had a really nice move to the downside, some really nice bearish structure, a lot of momentum there, as well. So I would anticipate some pullbacks and some more downside too. So yeah, Euro Yen, pound yen. I think on the lower time frames, keep an eye for the sells if we do see some pullbacks. Swiss yen, likewise as well, really nice breaks to the downside. I would say if this one can pull back as well on the low time frames, that could end up being a really nice short. We had this consolidation here, which price was bouncing between back and forth. We finally cracked support. So this, of course, will return resistance. A nice little pullback to that area. Could look to go and catch that next lower high and be on our way. There's a big level on the daily chart, which I'm looking for us to come into, which is this level of prior resistance will return support. So I do think we'll continue to fall into that area. So if we do push up before that, there's a good chance we will see some downside. And who knows, we could probably go a lot lower as well. Because again, CHF JPY is at all-time highs. So at some stage, I do expect CHF JPY to have a really big correction. I do think we will. When it happen, I have no idea. It could be happening now. But at least on the lower time frames, the sales do look good. There's a lot of momentum there, so pullbacks would make a lot of sense. So, yeah, it depends what you're looking for. If you're looking for buys for the CHF, for CHF JPY, then keep an eye on 174.5, 174 as we approach this area here. This could be a nice turning point in the market. We'll see. If you're looking for some sells are there on some pullbacks. Same with pound yen, dollar yen, likewise as well. But I feel like this one, I don't know. Yeah, if we keep falling, then yeah, another pullback could look good. Retest some lows here and see that next lower high and continue with that structure there. So we have one over there, low, lower high, looking for the next low, lower high, looking for another drop to the downside. So it makes a lot of sense to me with the yen pairs. It makes a lot of sense. We're seeing really nice momentum. lower lows, lower highs, structure's very clean. So at the moment, the sales look the best. Again, this is still shorter term moves, still very bullish on the higher time frames. But because we're breaking through some key trend lines, we're seeing some really nice momentum, prolonged structure, I would be looking at downside. And as I mentioned on my weekly analysis as well, there's some key support down here, which gave us this swing low, which gave us a swing high. So this is going to be an important low on the 4 hour, at least $4 yen. So that could be a nice target just below 155. So 154.750, that could end up being a nice target to aim for. So yeah, that's kind of why I'm looking for the yen pairs. They're looking pretty bearish on the lower time frames. I do think that's likely going to continue. So that's the direction I would want to be trading in the low time frames. And then as we start approaching some of these lows here, 154.750 for dollar yen, CAD yen, as we start approaching the support, which we're not too far away from, 113, that's when I'll start to back away, as we might be seeing some buys step back into the market there. Same thing for pound yen. As we come to 200.5, this is where you want to start backing away from your sells, because buyers will probably be looking to step in, including myself. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with the yen pairs. A lot of bearish momentum, looking pretty weak today, and it does look like we've got some more room left. Juice Drop, welcome to the stream. Hope you're well. Yes, we'll take a look at gold and silver, no problemo. Fika Sunday, welcome to the stream. Inverse head and shoulders on the DXYH4, we'll take a look at that. Dark Sean, welcome to the stream. Hope you're well. EURUSD, we'll take a look. Sign of reversal. Okay, we'll take a look at that one. First, let me go through gold and silver. So yeah, gold, we did see a little bit more downside. And I'm kind of expecting a little bit more as well. Silver, and really keep an eye on silver. Okay, so we've got to support. So, okay, so might see some upside for silver. In terms of gold, yesterday I was talking about a retest of this area and then some downside. Didn't quite see that happen. The market was a little bit too bearish to see that pullback, that extra pullback into that level. But we did see some downside this morning, looking a little bit bullish. Let me just clean up the chart a little bit. This morning looking a little bit bullish, so maybe we do get down a retest, but I wouldn't be looking for buys just yet for gold. I wouldn't be looking at buys just yet. I think there's still room to the downside for gold. At least another move lower. Because we've had such a strong drop here, and the market's finding its first bottom. So I do think we'll see some upside, and then probably get another follow through. Then maybe after that we start balancing ourselves out and see possibly a move higher. So it depends what you're looking for. If you're looking for buys, I think get ready. It does look like we could be looking to bottom out soon. If you're still looking for sells, this is still a nice area, which I was mentioning yesterday, 24.18, 24.20. I still feel that's a nice area for a sell. Depending how we get there, depending how we react, that could be a nice place for a short. But yeah, I'm getting ready for some buys for gold. But this is the first low forming. I don't really get in the first one. If we can push up nicely, create a second one, so kind of like a bit of a weird bull flag, if you will, that could end up being a nice buy there. Maybe me testing the high there on the left. And then in terms of silver, silver's at a nice support level, so buys do look good here, I must admit. We've got still relatively clean structure in the higher time frames, higher highs and higher lows. If I just pinpoint them out, there's your low, there's your high, low, higher high, higher low, higher high. And again, we're looking to anticipate another higher low for at least another test of the high. So as we approach this level here, this is what gave us a really strong move up. I do think we can react and see some upside there as well. I'll tell you what, if we do get a nice kind of wick through this area and a really nice recovery, that could be a really nice trade there. That would interest me for a buy setup there for silver. And it's got the room to run as well. It's got the room to run as well. If we're going to continue that trend, get back to the high, that's not a bad place to pick up some longs, in my view. So yeah, I'll keep an eye on silver. I like how we got there because we were showing quite a lot of momentum, but now a little bit corrective. So That tells me that the sellers are starting to back away, buyers are doing well, rejecting price. I think we do have a good chance to see a bounce. But in terms of a nice entry, if you could spike underneath that low, that would be very, very nice indeed. And then take some buys with a stop loss underneath that area. And yeah, I'll be trading stop loss, so I'll see how far I can take it. But I do think we are likely to see a bounce on silver. So I prefer this one. I prefer silver at the moment to gold. But again, very, very similar markets. They'll probably make the move near enough at the same time and do roughly the same thing as well. So just pick the one that looks the better to you and trade that one. But yeah, that's kind of what I'm looking at for gold and silver. In terms of DXY, so DXY inverse head and shoulder pattern. Okay, I feel like I see the pattern there. Left, there's your head and possible right shoulder there as well. So yeah, that could be the case. Could be the case. For me, I'm still looking at downside for the DXY. I still think we can see price drop lower. I'm looking at the DXY at the moment, and I do think there's a lot more room on the daily chart for us to head lower. So I'm kind of waiting for us to see that first pullback, and then hopefully we can see some continuation after that. Because I'm looking at this ascending channel here. We broke out of that a couple of weeks ago, and then we actually broke this low here as well. So I do think even if we do push up higher, there's a good chance we're just going to form another lower high. One over there, second over there, possibly a third, and then a big move down. So yes, you could be right from that inverse head and shoulder on the full hour that we might be having a bigger pullback, but I do think it's just going to give us a lower high at some point and thus the push down. So yeah, I'm only looking at sales right now with the DXY. Of course, I'm not looking to trade the DXY, but I do think the DXY is likely to head lower. And I talked about two areas, this being the first area that we could sell off from. The fact that the market's just moving sideways for quite a while is not a good sign. Probably does mean that we're likely to break through to the upside. So I agree with that. But I'm still looking for that low high to come through. There's a nice area over here, price support, will be turn resistance, broke through with great momentum, never had a retest. So to me, that looks like a really fresh area to trade from, or at least start to look for entries. So yeah, I can get behind the possibly a move higher. I'm not really interested in that, but if we do get here, that is something I'll be interested in, more so for Euro USD. So if Euro USD can push lower one more time, retest this level, which is kind of the corresponding area to the DXY, I feel like that would be a nice place for a buy to take the trade back to the high up here, and then possibly some new highs as well. But yeah, DXY, I still do favor move down. Dollar, I still do favor more upside. But I do think a pullback is on the cards. Yeah, I'm looking at the hourly chart as well. Yeah, the fact that as we had moved down, a lot of sideways, I feel like we can probably see another drop there. So yeah, I'm going forward. I do think we probably will see some more downside for Euro USD, more upside for dollar. But I will be looking to try and fade those moves when they happen. However, NZUSD still does look like a nice sell to me. And all we saw yesterday as well was price continuing to fall, which means I'm going to probably be focusing my efforts on a retest of this low here now, because it's going to be quite a big pullback. So something like this would be very, very nice. So yeah, NZUSD, I am pretty bearish on, but I do want to see a pullback first, which is kind of what I want to see, because if NZUSD does make this move, then Euro USD probably will make, this move up higher, and then we can go from there. But yeah, from a DXY perspective, that's kind of where I'm at. What's up, Dorcas? Welcome to the stream. Hope you're well. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yes, Euro USD second engulfing candles is a sign of reversal. Which time frame are you talking about, Darkashon? Is it the 4 hour? You're talking about this candle here, or The hourly chart or daily chart? Yeah, let me know. I would assume 4 hour, but not certain. um, hey, what's up, Pavinator? Okay, nice. Exit the sell on Aussie dollar. That was a big move you caught there. We did take a massive move lower. Okay, on the daily. So you're talking about this one over here, that bearish engulfing right at the top. Yeah, I mean, it could start reversal. It could definitely do that. Of course, I'm not looking at certainties in the market, so that bearish candle could print a high, and that could take us down 100%. Based on market structure, I do think it will take us down, but I would anticipate a higher low to form for us to push back up, based on how the market is moving. So I would expect something like that to happen at a later date. But yeah, I do think this will push us down. But my view is it's most likely going to be retracement rather than a reversal. Of course, if it does end up being a reversal, I'll pivot there as well. But yeah, is that a nice place? Came back into the high, just about took out the high as well. So I do think we will see some downside off the back of that. But I would be looking at some buys later. And if it is only just a small reaction, then it's a small reaction, and we'll move on and see how things develop. What was that? But yeah, for now, I'm still very bullish on that. However, I do agree we're probably likely to see some more downside. And the kind of the same thing for other dollar pairs as well. Pound USD, we did see a strong rejection there. So again, expecting a bit more downside, but still expecting that to be retracement for now. Um, so yeah, still expecting that to be retracement for now and a higher low to come back in. And it also depends what time frames you're looking to trade as well. If you're looking to trade the daily chart, or if you're looking to use that to trade the 15 on the 1 hour, because that will make a big difference in terms of what move you're looking for. Pavinator. Okay, so you got into Aussie dollar long. Down 40. Yeah, isn't it? That's the story of trading. Make a bit of money, give some back. Make a bit of money, give some back. And of course, that's the consistent cycle as well. Even the best traders of all time, they go through that cycle as well. But the key thing is when they make a bit of money, they don't give all of it back. So when you make some money, maybe you give half of it back, you make some more, give half of it back, make some more, half of it back. So you're going to be consistently in that cycle, and that's what's going to give you your equity curve, which is going to do something like this: make a bit of money, maybe some sideways, down, up, down, really good period, down, 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 up, a little bit down, up. So you're going to go through that, but overall the trajectory of the equity curve is up, which is profitability, making money, which is edge in the market. So you will go through that, but obviously you will go through cycles like this. You will go through cycles like that, or sideways, where you make lose money, lose money. You have some really good times as well. Then you have some not so good times, and another good time. So don't get too wrapped up in, okay, it took a really nice trade, but now I'm drawdown, because it's part of the plan. But of course, you have to manage your risk as well. If you're not managing your risk, then it will go pear shaped very quickly. So just make sure you're managing risk with every trade, and you know how much you're risking, how much you're willing to use, where your targets are, potentially how much you could make when you win, and then you go from there, because you've got a solid base, you've got a solid plan to build from. But drawdown losses is all part of the plan. Okay, today's candle. Yeah, but today's candle hasn't closed yet. I understand what you mean, that we're pushing down, and we are looking pretty bearish. But today's candle could potentially even close bullish by the end of the day. I mean, we've got a bit of USD news today. Nothing crazy. I think it's just existing home sales. in the afternoon during the New York session. So it's nothing crazy today, but maybe that candle can close bullish. It can close very, very bearish as well. But I would never kind of read a candle until it's closed, just because the information is kind of you only get half the information right now. We've still got 11 hours of trading left. So yes, we're looking bearish, but wait till the daily candle to close, and then that will give you all the information you need about the daily chart going into tomorrow, just like yesterday was for today. Do I think Aussie dollar going further pullback? Okay, I'll take a look at Aussie dollar as well. Okay, daily chart for analysis, H4 for entries. I like that. I like that. I'm similar, just but one down, but I do look at the daily chart a lot as well, and weekly as well. But yeah, in terms of Aussie dollar, so yeah, I was looking to buy this one yesterday. Yeah, coming into the week, I was looking to buy this one. However, it just didn't hold my level at all. And yeah, by the time I woke up on Monday, it was actually broken through the level. Yeah. So we opened the week around here. This was the level I was going to buy from. We opened the week around here. And yeah, we saw a bit of a spike and the market just fell. This is whilst I was sleeping. So I woke up and price was already trading below it. So it kind of invalidated the sell I was looking to take. And then yeah, we've continued falling. So it's not looking good for Aussie, but we are coming back to some nice areas where yes, I would expect to see some relief, because this has been a really big drop. We've had a really big move up high, and the market's completely reversed all of that. So I do think eventually we will see a pullback. Will it be from this area, or will we drop down a little bit further and do it from this area? That is something I can't tell you. Where it would be from, but I would expect to see a move up higher for Aussie dollar, purely just retracement. I do think even if we do see that move higher, we're likely going to kick back bearish as well. So I do think it's for the short term anyway, whether it's from this level or that level. So I do think it'll be short term upside. But I do expect us to retrace because we've had a lot of momentum. And yeah, we are behaving quite correctly as well. So we could see it happen this New York session. Maybe price might move sideways for a little bit, a couple more hours, and then we might see a push up before price decides it wants to continue again. Because there's a lot of momentum there with the bears. So if we do push up, it's most likely going to be retracement for price to push lower. But yeah, I would agree. I think Aussie dollar is likely going to see some upside. Hey, what's up, Ben? Welcome to the stream. Yes, we'll take a look at UJ Gold, Sculpey, as always. Good morning. Hope you are doing well. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So yeah, that's kind of what I'll be looking at for Aussie dollar. Again, the buys I was interested in this morning, it was for a big move higher back to the high, but after the move we've seen recently, that's no longer on the cards. I mean, it is coming back to a nice area than the daily as well. So this would be a nice area for a buy. It's just how prices come down. It's probably going to be a corrective move up higher for something like that. The swing I was looking for back to the high, not looking very likely at the moment. So yeah, with hey, what's up, FX Wolf? Good morning. Hope you are well. Yeah, I saw in the Discord sells in euro yen. Yeah, we did take a big move to the downside for the yen pairs. I'll go through dollar yen and gold first, and then we'll take a look at euro yen as well. Yeah, I'm doing good, Sculpey. Thank you for asking. So yeah, with dollar yen, we did see some downsides. I mean, with all the yen pairs, we did see some downside over the past 24 hours. But going forward, I do think we're likely going to see more. Again, I'm looking more intraday here, so I'm still bullish on the higher time frames. And again, the only thing really keeping me bullish is this price swing low, because this is the low which gave us the high. So as long as price is keeping that intact, then we could still have a pullback anywhere and continue higher. So from a structural point of view, I'm bullish on the higher time frames, but definitely on the 4 hour and hourly, we are still seeing consistent lower lows and lower highs. That's a really nice structure for it as well. So I do think we are likely going to continue that momentum. So as I said on the hourly chart, another drop lower, another pullback, retest some structure. I think that that will be a nice short to take, something like that. And then we can ride that back to a significant support level. Maybe this one here on the 4 hour. So yeah, that's kind of where I'll be at for dollar yen. Some short-term sells, counter trend sells. High time frames might still be bullish, but at least we're seeing some nice structure in the lower time frames and some really nice momentum as well. The market has seen some pretty hefty moves here. So we're just looking to follow that for the time being, and then maybe we turn bullish at a later date. But for now, that looks good to me. So yeah, dollar yen shorts look good. Gold, I was speaking this one briefly earlier. I'm looking for a bigger move higher up. I'm still looking for another move down first, though. Yesterday, I was talking about this level here as a nice place for a short. Didn't quite see that happen. I think as we do push up now, I'm still looking at that place for a short. And then probably we can discuss some buys at a later date. As we have already come into the high here and had a nice bounce there. But I'm not quite sold that we're about to fly. Maybe we do, but I'll still like to see a bit more downside, a bit more development before I take any buys. And yeah, then I'll be looking at a swing high as well. But for now, looking at some shorts and then a bigger buy later. Let me know your bias on those pairs as well. Okay, where was I? So yeah, I'll take a look at Euro yen. Okay, waiting for a retest in Aussie yen as well. We'll take a look. Darker Shon. Pattern reaches bottom top. And follow that reversal. Yeah, I do look at that as well on the weekly chart as well. The daily, weekly candles can be a really good sign of what the next day or the next week is going to do, especially like you said, when we do reach double tops or bottoms or key levels in the market. They're really good tell signs of what the market is likely going to do the following candle. Same conditions, but three can set the same direction candles. Okay, so that's another price. I don't really look at that one, but I'm definitely aware of that. I forget what it's called. Three soldiers or something like that. Okay, Euro USD towards the top. Okay, I'll take a look at that in a moment. I'll go through Euro yen and Aussie yen first, and I'll go through that. Ben, okay, you're bullish on gold if you hold this level. Sideways for a bit, so okay, find a feet. It looks sus. See, that's where the experience comes into the market. Where you can get some tell signs of not quite convinced on that, so I'm gonna sit that one out. Or this one looks really, really good, so I'm definitely gonna take that position. But yeah, I hear that. I mean, because the way the market's fallen, it hasn't been like a really nice corrective move down. It's not like price has been correctively moving down. We've hit a nice level. Then yeah, I probably would expect us to push first time. But because the move has been so aggressive, almost like a reversal, like an inverse V-shaped pattern, which typically does mean more which typically is a reversal pattern rather than a continuation. I wouldn't say it's quite inverse V shape, but it does give off the same characteristics and sign of it. So I would expect to see one more move down first, but it might just be another move to retest support, like you were saying, as we might move sideways a little bit. I don't think we'll see a crazy move up higher. That's why I'm looking at this area here. And that could take us to retest support or maybe move a little bit deeper. There's the high over there, which we could look to test as well. I feel like that could be an interesting place for a buy. But I am getting ready for a bigger move high. I do think gold is slowly finding its feet again. And now we printed that swing high. That would now be the new target, 2480. And of course, if we get some new highs, we've got 2500 just above us as well. So yeah, I do agree, but I'm not convinced just yet. Not convinced just yet of the buys. I actually quite like silver as well. Okay, so let me go through Euro Yen, Aussie Yen, and we'll take a look at Euro USD as well. Okay, so yeah, Euro Yen, a lot of downside. Did get taken out this trade yesterday. Not yesterday, sorry. Today. A really big candle breaking through that support, and that's where my stop loss was, just underneath that low. So I did get taken out of that position, and now things are looking pretty bearish, especially on the daily chart. It looks like price is trying to break through this long-standing trend line, which is one of the confluences I was looking at of why I hopped into the trade in the first place. Looks like price is breaking through that. So going forward with Euro Yen, if we do see a strong daily candle close underneath this trend line, for me, that's a real, that's a big sign saying that we're probably going to see more downside. Not necessarily a reversal, but I think there's a very good chance we're going to come back and at least test this low here at 168.485, just underneath 168.500. We're probably going to go test that level of support. So that means intraday or kind of full hour and below, and below, you're kind of just looking for sell opportunities. So pretty consistent with these lower highs. I'll point out the others. We're looking at another one for another move down. So for Euro Yen, I think there is room to the downside. I think someone said they're in a sell for Euro Yen. Yeah, FX Wolf, you're in sell in Euro Yen. I like the sells now after that move down, especially with the daily chart looking like it's about to break the trend line too. If we can keep that up, I do think there's a lot more room to the downside, and 168.5 is kind of where I do see price ending up at next. So yeah, for the yen pairs, I'm kind of intraday bearish on them. Higher time frames haven't broken any significant structure. And what I mean by that is swing lows. We haven't broken through any swing lows yet. So I still retain that bullish bias, but lower time frames, it's a slightly different story. So expecting that to continue for now. Then when we start to approach some big levels of support, we'll discuss the buys again. But yeah, I do think there is more downside for the yen pairs at the moment. Aussie yen. Are you looking for sales as well? Okay, yeah, sales as well. FX will. So yeah, I like that as well. There's a lot of momentum here. Really big move down there as well. So there is a lot of momentum there with Aussie yen, and the likelihood is we probably could roll over one more time as well. Say if we get a nice pullback, I'm not too sure where you're looking for a retest of, but this would be nice. Price swing low. See if we can get a pullback to that area. That does look like a nice place for a sell. And we can see some more downsides. As to where we could go next, this is a strong low here. This is what gave us that high. So this will be a very pivotal place for Aussie yen. I wouldn't say if we break through that, I'm suddenly bearish on the market. But if we do break through that, I probably would expect to see the market continue to fall. Then eventually maybe we do put that high low in. But still, this could be worthwhile trading. So yeah, going forward with Aussie yen, I would favor more downside as well. The key thing is that we're falling with a lot of momentum. We had a really big rally to the upside, things looking really bullish. Now we come down equally as hard, if not harder. So that tells me that if we do see some upsides, probably going to be a pullback for price to push down again. Still, eventually, the bigger move is probably to the upside for the yen pairs still. But for the time being, we might be having another correction, kind of similar to what we had kind of over here maybe, or over here as well. we could be going through a spell like that for some time, then eventually you might kick bullish again. So yeah, I definitely second that with Aussie yen as well. Okay, so we'll take a look at Euro USD. Tweezer top, D1, H4, broken trendline channel, head and shoulder. A lot going on there, but we'll take a look. Ben, okay, probably wait for PMI news to come out. Yes, it definitely can. Yes, it definitely can. Yeah, I think that's a good thing to note out for. You know, if you notice that, okay, these news events can cause these wicks. Well, if you wait for the wicks to happen, then you look to enter after them. Well, then you got a really nice trading opportunity in your hand, because you know what you would have done would is take the trade, get stopped out by the wick, and then see price moving direction. If you can wait for the wick to happen and enter afterwards, then things become a lot more easier to trade, because you're just looking at the fake out to happen, wait for a bunch of people to get taken out on the wrong side, and then you get involved. So that itself is a confluence in itself. You know, waiting for news to happen, waiting for wicks to happen. I like looking at wicks, you know, whether it's caused by news or not. It can be a really nice sign, but it has to be a wick at a significant area, and it has to be against my bias as well, because I don't want to be seeing wicks for my bias. You know, if I'm looking to buy gold, for example, and I'm seeing big wicks to the upside, that's not really what I want to be seeing. In fact, that's a nice sign of, okay, maybe I shouldn't take the buys just yet. Maybe we do have one more move down before you look to get involved. So yeah, keep an eye on the wicks. They can be a really big sign if the market's likely to move in direction or not. And if you can wait for wick to go against you first, and stop out a bunch of orders beforehand, it could be really nice confidence to get into a trade. But yeah, I'll go through Euro USD. No, I do not look at order flows. Manzoni, I do not look at order flow. Okay, so Euro USD. Let me go to the daily chart. So you're looking at tweezer top, daily, H4, broker channel. Okay. By the channel, I assume you're talking about this one. If not, let me know. Tweezer top on the daily, I'm not really seeing that, unless it's the H4. Not really seeing that either. So yeah, I'm not too sure. I think that's the channel you're talking about. If not, let me know as well. And I'm not seeing that head and shoulder either. Maybe the 4 hour you're talking about head and shoulder. Okay, yeah, the 4 hour as well, which would be the inverse of the DXY. So yeah, we possibly could be seeing some downside off the back of that, and I do think we will see some downside off the back of that, because it looks like price is coming back inside that channel, so we probably will see some downside. But for me, I will be looking at the buys on the retest of some areas here, and then we see what happens from then on. Way things are shaping up on Euro USD and on the DXY, I would still imagine we've got a lot of room to fall. And if you are going to retest some structure, then this to me looks really nice momentum shift through that. Same thing with Euro USD as well. Really nice shift of momentum through that. So I do think if we can see some decent pullbacks, we probably will find support around those areas and push on it. And even if it's just a slight bounce, we push to here, just a slight bounce up before we do push lower. Again, even that move, you can still probably look to lock in some gains and trade a stop loss or take partials, however you want to manage your position. But to me, that's still a nice area to short from. And if we do break lower, then we'll see what happens, because maybe we can change our bias for some sells. I mean, at the moment in time, NZUSD looks good for a sell to me. So in terms of dollar strength ideas, that's the one I'm backing. NZUSD, really nice structure there. Low pullback. Something like that looks like a nice opportunity to me. So for shorts, NZUSD is where I'll focus my efforts. Okay, what's up, Malik? Welcome to the stream. Hope you're well. As ad Euro USD analysis. So yeah, as I said with Euro USD, looking for some upside. I'll take a look at pound CHF as well. Looking for some upside in the retest of this area here. So that's kind of where I'm at with Euro, because we've seen some really nice structure. We took out that high there as well. I'm looking at price pulling back down, looking for a bounce here. And then we'll see what happens, because I will be looking for a swing back to the high. But of course, with the trading stop loss, I'm not setting targets in. If I was looking for a target, I'd probably either target the consolidation here. So if we do pull back from there, target that same consolidation, or if it's being a bit more aggressive, target the swing high. But at least maybe a partial out around there. Of course, with trading stop loss, I'll just see how far we can take it. But the idea is looking for a pullback of this move for continuation. That's the idea I have at play. And of course, the inverse for the DXY as well. Pound CHF, I was talking about some sales for this one, but we've just been moving sideways. Last time I had a look at that one. Yeah, we've just been moving sideways. I do think there is another drop to be had for pound CHF, because we had a really nice break of this level, but we came down really, really hard. And now it looks like price is just underneath that level. So I would expect pound CHF to see another drop. We've got a lot of wicks up here as well. So you can see the market's having a really hard time trying to break back above that area. And yesterday I was talking about, if we come back for a deeper test, we can be looking for some entries closer to the high. So yeah, if we can push back into the high there, that could be a nice little place for an entry. So you get nice bearish engulfing candles, stop loss above the high, then take short, and you're basically anticipating that level to hold and the market to push down. If we start breaking through, then that's not what we want to see anyway. So for now, that looks like a nice short to me for pound CHF. Yes, I don't really like the conditions, how we're moving, because we've seen a really big drop. Now the market is just kind of flat. But essentially what you're saying is that, okay, we've had a big drop, market's flat. I'm not expecting us to break the high. I'm expecting us to break lower. So I want to be shorting as close to the high as possible, because I'm anticipating something like this. If you end up breaking the high, then that makes things really awkward and the sells don't look good anymore anyway. So yeah, some shorts around there, 1.15080. See what we can do maybe come New York session, and yeah, looking for some sells back to the lower end, and that's where you can probably start managing the trade. And if we're lucky, we catch a nice breakout as well. And even this is looking like a head and shoulder pattern as well. Your left, your head, and possible right shoulder for a big move lower. So that's kind of what I'm looking at for pound CHF. There's a lot of room to the downside. I said this is a nice area of as a target. If you're looking for a big swing, I feel like we could go lower, but play it safe, because we are a little bit choppy now. But that is where I'm at with pound CHF. I'm similar with the other CHF pairs as well. If you guys have been enjoying the analysis, the content, the stream, please be sure to drop a like on the stream. It does really help out. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the channel as well, so you don't miss out any content in the future. Hit the bell so you are notified whenever I do go live or upload. And of course, make sure you do check out the Discord, completely free for elevating traders. Feel free to join discussions, share trade ideas, talk with other people sharing their trade ideas. I'll share my trade ideas there as well. So if you want to check that out, that is pinned at the top. But anyway, yes, I will take a look at pound NZD, Rick. It will be a buy, which is a buy. Yeah, I'm looking for a buy in Euro USD. I'm looking for a buy on Euro USD, but I need a bigger pullback first to that area. But yeah, we'll go through pound NZD. Yeah, I'm out of that Euro yen trade. Malik price took me out this morning. I had my stop loss underneath that low, and that took me out of the trade. So Euro yen, I'm looking for some more downside intraday. I think based on how market is looking, we probably will see some more downside for Euro yen. But the buys do not look good anymore, at least till we get back to here. Then I'll see how things are looking. But pound NZD, So yeah, pound NZD has been very, very, very bullish. Almost too bullish, because we broke through this high like it was nothing. And then I was expecting us to take our time to get to this high, but we did the exact same with this one as well and broke through like it was nothing as well. So I do think the next big move is going to be a retracement for pound NZD, because we've had a really stretched move. Pound NZD doesn't normally make moves like this for too long of a period before we do see a correction. So I wouldn't be looking at buys anymore, because the market is way too stretched for that. And as I approach the weekly chart, I mean, we do have the wick high there, so maybe price wants to go and take out that wick. And in fact, if we do take out that wick, I think we're going to have a really big move down. Yeah, if the market does go and take out that wick, which is not too far away from doing, I feel like we're going to have a really big move down at some point. But yeah, we're coming up to some big areas right now. So it's difficult, because I won't look to sell it just yet. Because we're looking way too bullish. Ooh, did not mean to do that. Because we're looking way too bullish, and again, we're trading above that resistance there. So if anything, price might still want to move up another 50 pips and do something like this. So it's difficult. I'll see what price does when we hit that wick high, if we hit that wick high. But essentially what I want to see is some signs of reversals, and then maybe some opportunities to sell like that on a retest of a low maybe, or something like this. But something that means that, okay, we're reversing, price is finding it hard to break higher, and now we can put some lower highs in. So something like that is what I would be looking for pound NZD. But I wouldn't be interested in the buys anymore. I was when we had the big breakout, but we just never pulled back. And sometimes that does happen. Price is just very bullish, and it doesn't pull back. And in this case, we broke through two very key areas, and we could be making a third move as well to pierce that wick there too. But if we do that, I do think there's going to be a lot of room to the downside, and a big move lower. But yeah, for now, looking for some sells, but extremely bullish, so be careful, because I can imagine a lot of people trying to sell pound NZD right now, and they're just getting burnt as price keeps moving higher. Taking a lot of orders, and as price keeps moving higher, just keep getting burnt and burnt and burnt. More people be jumping in now. Maybe this time's the time, or maybe we want to push up again. I'd wait for some more development before I would say sales look good. So something like this, and then yeah, I'll look to take some sales. But we're trading at some really nice heights, so it's bearish territory. It makes sense. Just need to see price action start to give us some shorting opportunities. Pound Aussie's been very bullish. This looks like it's coming right back to that high there as well. So yeah, going forward with pound Aussie, I feel like this one's going to take a bit of a dive as we approach that resistance. I wouldn't be surprised if we're slowly making our way up there. Euro Aussie's looking pretty bullish. Euro NZD, that one just broke through that level as well. It's probably coming back to the high here. So even this one probably will see a pullback, but I'll expect more upside. So yeah, for pound NZD, looking for some sells, but be patient. Be patient. It's very bullish at the moment. But yeah, there's a big difference between pound, NZD, euro, NZD, euro, Aussie. Euro pound, euro Aussie, and NZD Aussie. There's a big difference between those currencies at the moment. I mean, all you can see is look at Aussie dollar. That one's absolutely falling. NZD falling out of the sky, whereas pound seems a bit of downside, but nothing crazy. Euro likewise as well. So yeah. And for pound, I'm still looking at buys as well, and it's still at the top of my watch list, pound USD. Yeah, it's still at the top of my watch list, still looking for the buys. The only thing I don't like is that not all dollar pairs are looking bullish. It's nice when you're looking to buy one of the dollar majors and you're looking at all of the majors looking to move in the same direction. But when you've got some majors moving the opposite direction to some other majors, so for example, pound USD, Euro USD look like they're trending up, but Aussie dollar, New Zealand dollar look like trending down. That's not a good sign. Kind of want them all to be together. Okay, so where was I? Where would my take profit on dollar yen? Okay, I'll discuss that. I assume you mean for the shorts that I was talking about. What's up, Lauda? Welcome to the stream. Hope you're well. Welcome, welcome. Hope you are doing good. Silver H4, tweezer bottom with a long wick rejection. Yeah, I'll touch upon that. Any other interesting charts? Okay, yeah, I'll go through my watch list actually. I'll take a look at dollar, yen, silver, and I'll go through my watch list. No problem. Happy to help, Rick. So yeah, with dollar yen for a take profit, as you're talking about the sell idea I just mentioned. So let me go to the hourly chart. So yeah, as we're creating these lower lows and low highs, I hope these orange highlights aren't distracting. I was just using them to mark out the swing points. But yeah, if I was to get into a sell for dollar yen, it would just be looking at the next key level in the daily or the 4 hour, which would be this low here. Because again, this is a major swing point, which gave us this high. This was the last pullback, and then we just we shot to the moon. So for me, this is a very, very important low, and the next major low I'd expect price to get to before we do see some real buyers coming back into the market. So that's where my take profit would be. If not, if not, then I'll probably just look at the low. It depends where we pull back from, because I could look at this low as a take profit or this low. It depends on the setup, but either one will make up for a good take profit. Just depends how aggressive you want to be and what risk reward you're after as well. But yeah, this will be the setup. Just looking to continue with that bearish structure, looking for the next lower high and another move back to the low. So that's kind of where I would be for dollar yen sells. In terms of silver, I'll go through silver quickly, and then I'll go through my watch list. Okay, we'll take a look at pound CHF. I appreciate that, Malik. If you guys are enjoying the chat, let me just highlight that one, because that is a great comment. If you guys are enjoying the stream, find it useful, please be sure to hit the like button. It does really help out. I do appreciate everyone who has liked the stream so far. It really does help out. And of course, make sure you subscribe and hit the bell as well, so you don't miss out on any streams or uploads in the future. So yeah, I'll go through silver, and then I'll take a look at my watch list, and we'll go through pound CHF as well. But yeah, with silver, we have come back to a nice level of support. I actually do like silver because I'm still looking at the daily chart as a chart that is likely going to continue back to the high. You can see the lovely momentum, the lovely trend we've had over the past few months. Push, pull back, push, pull back, push, pull back. And I'm looking at this just kind of a big complex pullback for the market to eventually find a higher low and push to the upside. So that is the plan at play, or at least mine anyway, for silver. So I'm looking at buys, and we are starting to form wicks as we approach this low. So it's a good sign we're running out a bit of steam, and we could be looking at finding support to push higher. What I said early in the stream, what would be nice is if we could have a nice piercing wick through this zone here. So if we put another one to take out that wick and then quickly recover like we did here as well, that could end up being a really nice trade for me, because I like it when price comes to double bottoms or double tops and we have a nice wick through the previous high, because that's kind of what stops out all the earlier traders, and then potentially we could see the follow through from then on. So I like it when we do get something like that. But generally speaking, this is a nice area to buy from. Previously when we were here, really big move to the upside, it looked like we're going to just fly off to the moon at one point. but we came back pretty hard. So we'll see what type of reaction we can get now. And then yeah, I would be looking at trading a stop loss, hopefully to catch the big move, but I wouldn't be surprised if we come back to some areas and have a bigger pullback. So yeah, those areas could make up for some nice partials as well. But yeah, silver, I would still be looking at buys. As I mentioned, gold as well, still looking at buys. I do think they're sooner or later going to turn bullish as a whole. But yeah, just being patient. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm looking at for silver. Nice place for a buy. It's just I would like to see a big wick through that area. And again, that leads us to the other point that we had mentioned earlier about looking for wicks, especially after news as well. You can get a nice piercing wick going against your direction. Sometimes that's a really good confidence to take a trade. At what point would you want to buy silver? So yeah, as I mentioned, if you can see a nice wick through that zone, that would trigger me to a buy. Because the thing is that we've got support. This is our low. So if you think in terms of liquidity, this wick low here, let me just move the zone out of the way. This wick low is where a lot of stop losses, a lot of orders will be underneath over here. Because everyone who was buying this previous move, that's the most logical place where you'd put those type of orders underneath that low. So I wouldn't want to get involved just now because we've had this humongous move down. It almost feels like price is pretty likely going to take out this low here. Not necessarily that we're going to completely fall over, but we probably will spike through it before we do see a bigger move higher. And what would be a nice entry trigger for me would be a nice wick, just like the one we've done here, but just a little bit deeper. And then that gives me a nice shift of momentum. That will end up being a really nice buy setup for me. Stop loss underneath the new low that we formed. And then I could be looking to capture the next swing. It just gives me a better entry than what would be now. So that's kind of what I'll look for before entering. It's being a bit picky because there's no rule that we have to do that before we push up. We could see some upside right now. Not every double bottom or double top price will spike through the high or spike through the low. But from my experience, those always have been the better trades. So that's kind of what I'll be waiting for silver to find an entry trigger. But yeah, that's what I'll be looking for. All right, no problem, Alec. I appreciate you coming on. We'll see you tomorrow. Okay, so I'll go through my watch list and I'll take a look at Pound Seat Chef as well for Deep Forex Trader. Yen pairs are all getting rug pulled apart from UJ. They've had some really big moves down. And again, it's kind of expected. I've been touching upon this the past like month or so because the JPY pairs has just been so bullish. I've mentioned it a few times that in the FX world, we never just move for one in one direction for too long. We will have big corrections. It's a certainty. If you look back at price action for the past 20, 30 years, there's only a few times we've had some really prolonged moves without big corrections after. And normally those big moves are due to big fundamental things as well, like 2008 when we had a massive meltdown. There's normally a big catalyst behind it. So, of course, there's a big catalyst behind the yen pairs flying as well. But, generally speaking, we will have a big pullback, and we're just going through that now. We're going through that pullback now. So yeah, it's just going to be how far do we pull back? That's the next question. I think in the meantime, as I mentioned, the low time frame sales look good because there's a lot of bearish momentum right now. So if you're trading like the hourly chart and below, I will be looking at pullbacks and some shorts and look to ride that maybe for a session or for a couple of days. as we approach some big levels of support, because we already cracked some support levels for quite a few yen pairs. Nothing where I'd say, okay, the market is finished the trend or the trend has reversed, but we've definitely broken through some areas where we could have bounced from. So I would expect that momentum, that bearish momentum, to continue. And then we can start talking about some buys later on. But the market is extremely bearish right now. Extremely bearish. So I do think we can continue to fall maybe for another 2-3 days, maybe for the rest of the week. And for example, like Euro Yen, when we start approaching this level here at 168.5, then we can start discussing some buys again and maybe some buys stepping back into the market. But at the moment, we're seeing a lot of momentum, so I do think it will continue, and then we'll readjust when we get to this level here. We see what we do next. Do we break through or do we hold? You know, we'll find out when price gets there, and we can see how prices are reacting. But for now, intraday, I do think more downside is likely for the yen pairs. Mighty King, what is up? Yes, we'll touch on the DXY as well. Yeah, 100%. I mean, USD did some big moves in 2021, going into 2022, but I wouldn't say it is as big as the yen pairs. I mean, in my trading career, yeah, I'll probably say the biggest moves I've seen has been on the yen pairs as well. Of course, you did have COVID where everything fell off a cliff, but that was COVID. And everything did correct itself pretty much straight away after. You know, whereas this has been a really prolonged trend. I mean, I remember dollar yen, 2021 as well. I think it was 2021. Yeah, this move here was pretty insane, and this move was really insane in 2022 because that just absolutely flew. Because we were very, very corrective. Then suddenly the market just broke out and just went parabolic. Yeah, that's insane. But yeah, it has been the yen pairs where I've seen the craziest moves of the market in terms of FX. But yeah, let me go through my yen pairs, my watch list. So yeah, pound USD longs. I'm looking at pound USD longs. Oh, okay, pound USD is melting there, and it is speeding itself up. So it probably could be testing that. Ooh, maybe could be some trades later today. Actually, maybe could be some trades later today because we're just moving sideways. So I was wondering when are we going to break out, and if we were going to break out to the downside. But it looks like price has made its mind up. So yeah, as we do approach this first level, this is my first level of interest for pound because, as I mentioned, really nice breakout higher. I'm looking at this as the pullback, so I'm looking for a higher low to then buy pound USD up. So pound USD is my watch list and is coming into my area. So I will start to keep a close eye on that. I was going to send an alert after the stream, but doesn't look like I need to because we're about to trigger it. So yeah, pound USD looking at buys there. Euro USD keeping out for some buys. Looks like that one's seeing some downside too. Still a fair bit away, but I do prefer pound USD a lot more. So I think I'll just focus my efforts on pounds. Keep an eye on euro because maybe the setup or the entry might be a little bit cleaner, but pound USD look better on the higher time frame. So I think I'll just focus on pound. But pound USD longs, euro USD longs, NZD USD shorts on a pullback. This one's nowhere near my entry level and still looking pretty bearish. So I actually need this one to pull back. So I think I'll be waiting a while for that one, but it definitely is on the watch list looking for some buys, some sales, sorry. Silver looking for some buys, gold looking for some buys as well. Yeah, I'm not really looking at any of the CAD pairs. And yeah, no really cross pairs. And apart from NZCHF on the CHF pairs, but again, for this one, you need a big pullback too. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So there's not a lot on my watch list, to be honest. There's not a lot. But pound USD is, and it's right next to my level. So that's kind of where my focus lies. And pound yen, I forgot pound yen. Pound yen there too. When it gets to 200.5, I'll start looking for some buys again. But yeah, that's kind of where my watch list is. So about six pairs, six pairs. But in terms of trades right now, pound USD looks really good. So that's where my efforts will be for at least today. And then we'll see how things shape up. But we'll go through pound CHF and the DXY. DXY from 2002 to 2007 was a big move. Let's see that. That's a bit before my time. Well, I say a bit, it's quite a long way before my time. 2002, 2007. Okay, yeah, humongous fall there. See, that's a really nice trend there in the DXY. It does have its moments. Like this was a really nice trend, 2021 to 2022. Really nice trend. But yeah, as of late, it has been a bit flat. But I do think it will be trending soon. More might disagree, but I agree. Risk management is key. Yeah, I think you just got to know what you're doing, because I think with his logic is that okay, I'm expecting this trend to continue, and then I'm gonna keep adding trades as price goes down. I'm pretty sure he probably will calculate the lot size of his individual trades, and position himself accordingly. But his idea is that for this account, I'm expecting the yen pairs to continue, and I imagine he's perfectly fine with that. He's accepted the risk with it as well. Um, but yeah, you're completely right for that. For the average trader, a stop loss will definitely help with positions, because again, you have to be disciplined to understand that okay, whatever trade I take could potentially fail. So if it's going to fail, how much money am I going to lose? Am I okay to lose this? Can I still fight another day? And many days after as well. So for me, a stop loss is very, very important from that aspect. Sure, stop losses can be annoying because you get stopped out sometimes and then see price moving direction. That's the main disadvantage of a stop loss, 100%. And there's very little you can do to completely eradicate that. Of course, you can improve your entries and stuff and improve your stop loss placement, but to a degree, the market's going to do that from time to time because you're not perfect. So that's the 100% the biggest drawback of a stop loss. But at the same time as well, especially as a swing trader like me who holds positions over weekends and overnight. For example, my euro yen position, let's say, I couldn't access my laptop or something, or my desktop, and that move happened. Right now I'll be probably experiencing twice the loss that I wanted. But with the electronic stop loss, I'm out of the trade for the loss I predetermined. So, I'm not losing sleep. I can sleep pretty well at night, and I'm not stressing. I'm not waking up every 5 seconds to see how my trade is doing. But then that comes with risk management. What's the position size you're using? Are you risking an appropriate amount of your account and something you're comfortable with? So it's very, very personal, especially if you're using your own funds. But yeah, I would agree, Lauder, with your statement, but not everyone's going to agree. Yeah, I think you've just got to understand the risk behind it, because of course the worst thing happens with no stop loss is that you blow your account. That's the worst thing that happens. If you're okay with that potentially happening, then whether you use a stop loss or not, you're good, because you understand, okay, the worst that can happen, I can blow my account. I'm okay with that possibility if it does arise. Then you trade how you want to trade. If you don't want to blow your account, you don't want to lose 50% of your account, then you're going to need a stop loss. Or you can use a mental stop loss as well. You don't have to have electronic placed. For example, this under here could be your stop loss for that trade, but you don't actually have to place an electronic one. You can just say, okay, if it does get down, I'll close the trade, because sometimes you'll see some wicks and the market will pull back up. So if you had an electronic stop loss in, you would have got triggered, but because you're using a mental one, you kind of held that out and then you're still in the trade. So that's the benefit of using a mental stop loss, but then you've got to be disciplined when it says when the market does break through, you got to say, okay, trade's failed, I need to get out. But yeah, some type of stop loss for majority of traders is going to be a benefit. Not perfect, not perfect. It will have its drawbacks, but in a world, in a game where everything is very, very emotional or can be very emotional, having your systems in place, which, regardless of your emotion, will act to save your drawdown, I think it is beneficial. If you outgrow a stop loss and you feel like you don't need it, that's a decision you have to make yourself. But for me, I've been using stop loss for multiple years now, and I'm happy with it. Anyway, let's go through pound CHF before I forget DXY as well. Favor, okay, we'll take a look at gold, monthly, weekly, daily, full hour as well. Okay. Where was I? Pound CHF. So yeah, pound CHF, you see waiting for a breakout to the upside. Oh my word. I was talking about some sells earlier with pound CHF as we approach the high here. Looks like it might be on its way already. Didn't quite come into the high either. But yeah, essentially for pound CHF, I'm looking for a move down. Because I was looking for a buy for pound CHF last week. After we had this big breakout, I was looking for price to come back and retest that level and see some upside. However, price broke underneath, and now it's kind of using it as resistance. So I'm looking at pound CHF as more of a head and shoulder pattern, your left, your head, and your right shoulder there. And I'm looking for a move lower. Yes, if we do break to the upside, the buys will look a lot better now. And I probably will change my bias, but at the moment, I'm not quite seeing that. So when the breakout comes, then you can look at that buy opportunity in a lot more detail. But for now, it does look like price is holding that resistance, and I do think we will see a big break lower if we're successful there. So yeah, if you're looking for longs, there is no longs yet because we haven't broken out. So just stay on the sidelines. A lot of trading is just waiting for the right moment. I wouldn't say the right moment has risen yet for the buys. And if it doesn't, it doesn't. There's other pairs to look at. There's other opportunities that will come. But for now, it still looks to me that we're holding this as resistance like we did over there for a while. And I do think we can take a nice move lower. So that's kind of where I'm at with pound CHF. In terms of the DXY, I'm looking for some sells with this one. It does look like we're seeing some upside first, though. So hopefully we can push into that area there. I'm looking at the corresponding level for Euro USD, which we're not too far away from as well. So this area, as we break out of this, looking for a move down. DXY is doing the inverse of that. So hopefully we can push into that low, retest that structure, and catch some nice sells back to that level. So that's kind of where I'm at for the DXY. Short-term strength for some long-term weakness. Okay, so I'll go through gold. We'll take a look at pound CAD as well. Is just football, pound USD breaking down. Yes, it is. Yeah, as I said, I'm looking to buy Euro USD. Assad, I'm looking to buy Euro USD. But yeah, for pound USD, we are seeing some downside. So it's more or less coming to my area now. So now it's time to shine, time to start looking for some buying opportunities. I'll be looking for entries on the hourly chart. So I'll be seeing how we shape up there. Oh, did not mean to do that. See how we shape up there. For some buying opportunities, looking for my engulfing candles, looking for wicks, and then I'll look to try and take a buy with the expectation that we can see another bullish swing, possibly back to the high. But we'll see. We will see. Still looks good to me, so we'll be looking for entries. But yeah, we're definitely bleeding right now. Euro the same. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. Okay, so I will go through gold, pound CAD next. Entry trigger. Again, entry trigger is mainly candlestick patterns. Candlestick patterns. I'm just basically looking for momentum to shift, signs that okay, we've come into a level, market's rejecting it, and we're like to push higher. But yeah, it's not that okay. We've got a bullish engulfing candle, so um, you just have to look to buy it straight away because some bullish engulfing candles are not worth buying based on how they set up, based on the size, based on how they look. So there is discretion involved, but essentially I'm looking for candlestick patterns with discretion. So it's not mechanical. Like as soon as I see a bullish engulfing, I'm in. It's with the context of the market. But anyway, for gold, as I mentioned with this one, I'm looking for buys. In general, the market's still very bullish. We discussed this in the monthly chart, looking bullish. Weekly had that big wick to the upside, so I do think retracement is likely. We have seen a bit of downside, but I'm looking for a little bit more after we failed to break through the high. This previous high, we left this massive wick through. So I'm looking to see if gold can see a bit more downside, possibly back to this area before I look for some buys. But we are holding on to that first level pretty well. But I'm not quite convinced yet after the momentum we had in that first pullback because it was just so aggressive. I'm not looking to just try and go against that instantly. It's not like we had a really nice corrective pullback. It's quite impulsive, almost like an inverse V-shaped pattern, which is, as I said, not really a sign of continuation and more of reversal. So I'm looking at something like this for the DXY, not for DXY, for gold, for even another push back into the low, or maybe a push back into this area, and then I'll re-investigate and probably start looking for entries then. So that's kind of what I'm after for gold. Another push back down, retest some structure, then find some buys. But yeah, I'm only interested in the longs for now. Okay, so we'll take a look at pound CAD. What's up, Pragasar? Welcome to the stream. Hope you're well. Welcome. How was the USD CAD position go? Okay, so let me go through pound CAD. Oh, okay. We're seeing some rejection at the high. So yeah, pound CAD, we are looking for some downside. Not really eager to trade it, but we've had a really big move back to the high here. So I do think it's time for us to see some downside purely out of retracement. I think there's a lot of profit taking happening with pound CAD. We've had a really big move up, and you can see previously, this is the monthly chart, by the way. You can see prices rejected this area multiple times on multiple occasions since 2016. So this is a big level. Although we could break it, but I do think we'll eventually see some sellers stepping into the market. So I do think we're going to see price take a bit of a breather. So generally speaking, sells will look good up here. As I said on my weekly analysis, if we can see price do something like this, that could end up being a nice sell opportunity there. Again, not trying to be the first one into the market because although it's a nice place for a sell, the market has been very bullish. So these sells are definitely counter trend and don't want to rush into it. But something like this could look good, especially if we see some nice momentum on this move here, and then some sales will look good there. Again, I would avoid looking to buy, not at this time. The market's, number one, a little bit too stretched, and we're trading in a very, very difficult area for buyers. High time frame sellers probably looking to step in around now. So yeah, that's kind of what I'll be looking at for pound CAD. Some downsides, but need a little bit more development if I'm looking to find any entries to take some shorts, because there's still a lot of bullish momentum present, and I need that to kind of disappear a little bit. Euro CAD's been pretty bullish too. But yeah, Aussie CAD coming down, New Zealand CAD coming down. This one I was expecting a bounce from this area this week, but it doesn't look like it's happening. But yeah, pound CAD for me is still a nice place for a short. Okay, so we'll go and take a look at Euro NZD for favor. Okay, still holding close to take profit. Nice. Hopefully you can go hit that soon. We got some dollar news this afternoon, but it's nothing crazy. Existing home sales, I don't think it'll do anything too crazy. It might move a little bit, but I don't think it will cause too much problems. Yeah, I'm out of that position. Got stopped out this morning on Euro Yen. Had a nasty move in the early hours. Actually, no, it wasn't early hours. It was 7, 8 a.m., 9 a.m. as I was getting to the chart. So yeah, price is looking pretty bad for Euro Yen. I had my stop loss just underneath that low there. So this is the candle that took me out of the trade. Still looking for a longer term move higher, but it just looks like I've mistimed the market and got in a bit too early, because at this moment, I do think we can continue to sell off a little bit, especially from an intraday point of view. So I do think price will continue to move lower. Okay, so I'll go through Euro Swiss. Yeah, I've got a couple. Well, I've got about 6 pairs on my watch list at the moment, but one pair in particular that's shaping up right now, which is pound USD longs. So that's the one I'm going to keep my eyes peeled on for, because that could set up probably this afternoon, depending on the entry. But in terms of where we're trading, it's definitely a place where I'm interested in for a long. We could come a little bit deeper. I have talked about this area here too. I don't like how it blends in there. But I've talked about this area too, as we could come a little bit deeper. So there's that possibility. But generally speaking, this is the area I'm looking to buy from. So pound USD, I'll definitely keep my eyes peeled on that one this afternoon. And I'll get to my other pairs on the watch list in a moment. Anyway, so yeah, pound USD longs. I'll talk about Euro NZD. So yeah, Euro NZD absolutely flew over the past few days. We broke through this level here. I said there might be some downside from this level, but price was not having that at all. I said wait for a 4-hour shift in momentum. Didn't really see that happen. There was a slight bearish candle, but the market just obliterated that level like it was not there. So to me, it looks like price is likely just going to get back to the high here, because I'm looking at the weekly chart. This is a really nice uptrend that we've had over the past year as prices moved higher. And this has just been like an awkward consolidation / retracement, because if the market was going to reverse, we should have done that by now. We should have broken support. The fact that we respected it very well, saw a big shift in momentum, means that we're probably just going to continue this trend back to the high and maybe beyond it as well. So at this current rate, the fact that we're just respecting support well, breaking the high really easily too, there's a good chance that USD will probably just continue the momentum back to the high. This could be a nice place for some sales as well. I think it's more just going to be in terms of profit taking rather than a big reversal. But yeah, if I was looking to trade USD, I would be looking at some pullbacks. Again, the market is just a little bit too stretched for me, but we could end up holding this area for a buy, even this area here too. Oh, but I would be looking at a bigger move higher. So yeah, USD looking at more upsides. 1.84, 1.845 is where I do see the market ending up at. But to me, it does look like there's more juice in the tank there. So that's kind of where I'm at with USD. In terms of Euro Swiss, okay, looking at longs and Aussie dollar. Okay, I'll take a look at Aussie. Yeah, Aussie dollar has come back to a nice level, to be fair. I was looking to long it from a level earlier on this week, which didn't give me anything. But it has come back to nice here on the daily chart, so I'll touch upon that. But yeah, hopefully pound USD could set up this afternoon, or at least sometime this week. No pressure, pound USD. Just make sure I get an entry. Euro Swiss. Yeah, so Euro Swiss, haven't spoke about this one. I think with this one, I mean, it's very similar to pound CHF in terms of we've had a nice drop and price is still just moving sideways. But I do think there's a good chance we're going to see another drop lower. So I'm looking at this as just a correction of this move, and we're likely going to push through that. So with Euro CHF, I would be looking at more downside. Will we get back to the low all the way here? Possibly. I think if you're looking to target that low, is pretty optimistic. Sure, if it gets there, you're looking at a really nice risk reward, but there's a lot of areas where price could just reverse against you. So I would suggest looking to partial out along the way, lock in some gains, pay yourself for doing that big swing. But if the trend wants to continue, this could just be a massive impulse, a correction of that, another continuation. So it does have the chance of getting there. But equally, we could be forming higher low at any point, really. So with Euro CHF, I'm looking for another move down. In terms of entries, we could either enter up at the high there, or maybe on the retest of this low, as I was suggesting last week. So what I would say is, if you can push back to the high, look for some entries, maybe in the 15-minute, 30-minute, and then look to take a trade off the back of that with stop loss above the high. Or if price wants to push a little bit deeper, we've got the retest of this low here, or even that area there. But effectively, we're looking to short as we approach the higher end of that channel, looking for a lower high, one of these areas, and then looking to try and catch that continuation. So yeah, that's kind of how I'm looking at for Euro CHF, which is similar to pound in terms of we've got a correction. I'm looking for a lower high, not lower high, but a retest of the higher end of that channel for price to kick on. So Euro CHF is just doing the same thing, but at a slight angle. And yeah, I expect price to sell off at least back to that low. That could be a nice first target or your target, depending on the risk reward you're after. And then yeah, we'll see how far price can move afterwards. But yeah, I do think there's a good chance we will see Euro CHF take a move down. Okay, so I'll take a look at Aussie dollar. If I haven't missed out a pair from earlier, let me know. But I'll take a look at Aussie dollar. We'll go through Euro AUD as well. What's up, Johnny? Welcome to the stream. I'm doing good. Hope you're well. Manzondi, what time would that be? Eastern. Did I say a time? If you're talking about Eastern Standard Time, I know that's 5 hours behind the time I'm in GMT, UK time. Eastern Standard is 5 hours behind us. But yeah, I don't remember me saying a time. Might have done. So yeah, Euro CHF looking for a move down. In terms of Euro Aussie, I mean, let me go to Aussie dollar first. I'll take the Euro Aussie. In terms of Aussie dollar, so yeah, this one come into a really big level of support. This was there I was looking to buy from this week. but it didn't give me entry signal. And by the time I woke up on Monday morning, price already broken through. So that level was just completely out the way. But now it's come back into a very interesting area on the daily chart, because if I quickly expand, you can see, this was a no nonsense level for Aussie dollar for a while. Price eventually broke through, and now we're coming back in for possibly a retest of that area. And number one, and number two, the market is quite stretched as well. So there's a good chance the market will bounce higher for Euro Aussie. I'm less for Aussie dollar. I'm less confident that Aussie dollar is going to have a massive swing back to the high there, as I was at the start of the week, because the move to the downside has been quite aggressive. It's not been a corrective typical pullback. It's been quite impulsive, which kind of looks like a big V-shaped pattern or inverse V-shaped pattern to me. Impulse up, impulse down. As I said, with gold, these patterns don't normally resemble continuation and more favor reversal. So I feel like with Aussie dollar, we probably will see some upside, but there's a good chance we could form a lower high at a later date and push bearish. So that's my worry with Aussie dollar. Same thing with pound as well. I think there's a good chance we will see buyers step in, see some upside, but will we continue back to the high? Possibly. I'm not so sure of it as I was earlier on. But yeah, nonetheless, it's a really nice place for a buy, generally speaking. So I do think we'll see some upside at some point. Same thing for pound. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with my analysis. And I'm looking for more downside in dollar as well. Okay, so we'll take a look at Euro Aussie next. Okay. Let me just see where we are on the higher time frames. Okay, so we're at an area where we could see some retracement. Now, Euro NZD has been very bullish. Pound NZD has been very bullish. Even Pound Aussie has been quite bullish. Euro Aussie kind of lagged behind a little bit as to the other markets I've just mentioned. And again, those four markets, Euro Aussie, Euro NZD, Pound Aussie, Pound NZD, those four do move very, very similar. So if they're all bullish, I mean, if one's bullish, most of the time they're all bullish, and vice versa with the bearish. Yes, they'll move at different paces, as we can all see, but they tend to move in the same direction in terms of the overall trend. So there's a good chance that Euro Aussie could be making this move longer term. But for now, we're coming into an area where we probably could see some downside with these lower highs. One over there, second over here, third, and maybe we're coming to an area where we could be looking at fourth, retesting that prior low. Previously support there as well, resistance there too. This is a not bad play for a sell. Do I expect it to go far? Probably not, but we could probably see some downside for a few days. And that few days could end up, being a nice 1 to 2, 1 to 3 in the lower time frames, and then maybe price eventually breaks through. But for me, this will be a nice place for a sell if I just refine the level just to the high here, so you don't have to have a big zone there. This is a nice place for a sell, in my opinion. And that's a really nice rejection in the 4 hour too. That could be a nice entry signal in the 4 hour. Pretty strong move up, nice shift of momentum. This candle does still have 2 hours left before it does close. So I would wait for that to close first before looking for any entries, because in 2 hours time, this could easily end up leaving a big wick there, or even closing bullish as well. So I'll wait for that candle to close just to see, what the end, how we finish, how we end up. And if we do close something like this, I feel like that's a nice entry signal, and maybe a push back to this area, and then we reinvestigate. Like I said, we may eventually go and break through this, but I do think retracement is looking likely. Same with Euro NZD and the other pairs. They look like they're about to retrace too. And Euro Aussie has come back to a nice area of confidence there. So I think sales look good for this one. Keep an eye on that 4 hour. That could be a nice entry signal. And we could see some downside there. Back to maybe 1.628. That makes a lot of sense to me. Look at GA. Okay, sure thing, Lauder. Looks like pound is weak across the board. No, pound USD is falling. Pound CHF looks like it's about to fall. Pound CAD seeing some downside. Pound NZD too. Yeah, it looks like pound is weakening. How's euro against the pound? They look like they're as weak as each other, euro and pound. But yeah, pound Aussie definitely seeing some downside. Didn't quite get to that high there, at least how I draw it on the daily. On the weekly, yeah, we definitely are in that wick area. You can see in the weekly chart, this is where all the wicks have gathered, and now we're back in that area again. So in general, we're coming back into some areas of resistance at the moment. It would be nice if we're a little bit higher up at that daily level, but generally speaking, it's we're probably going to see some retracement, especially after taking out such a key swing high there. This was a big high, which gave us a big move down. We've just taken that out very, very easily. So I do think naturally we'll see some downside. But I would be looking at something like this to happen. So yeah, with pound Aussie, downside looks good. Again, really nice projection there on the 4 hour. That's looking like a strong close there as well. Again, still got 2 hours and something minutes before that candle does close. So we'll see how it does close at the time, because things could happen in between. But that could be the start of some downside there for pound Aussie, and then maybe we push back up again as we approach some of these areas. But yeah, it's in a nice area where I do think sellers will start entering the market. So pound Aussie, I feel like downside is likely. Euro Aussie, downside is likely. Euro NZD, same thing as pound NZD, but again, it's more retracement than reversal, I would say, at least at this point in time. But yeah, pound does look pretty weak across the board. Same thing with euro. But for me, pound USD will be my number one, which I keep tabs on. It's coming to my area right now, so I'll start monitoring this on the hourly. And again, that's the benefit of having your routine in place and knowing exactly when you're going to analyze and when you're going to take trades. No problem, Lord, I'm happy to help. But for me, I can only take trades on an hourly candle closure, and I don't take trades after 5 p.m. UK time. So it's coming up to 12 now. So I could potentially take a trade at 12 p.m., 1 p.m., 2 p.m., 3 p.m., 4 p.m., or 5 p.m. So that's six hourly candle closures we have between now and before I stop trading for the day. So I only have to check the market potentially 6 times. And each one of those 6 times will probably take me 5 minutes, unless I'm actually going to take a trade and it might take me a little bit longer in terms of calculating my position size and everything, and entering trades and put my stop loss in. But those 6 times I look, let's say if I don't get a trade, I'll look each time. I'll take 5 minutes out of my day. 6 times 5, that's 30 minutes spread out over the day. Yeah, there's nothing strenuous, because all the hard work is done previously in terms of the analysis, in terms of finding your edge, in terms of coming up with your plan and sticking to it. That's where all the hard work is done. In terms of actually trading, all you're doing is literally following a plan and staying sharp, because it's not like black and white, especially with my plan. There's discretion involved, so it's not black and white. You got to stay sharp. You got to make sure you're taking good trades and not just any trade that comes your way. So there is that part of it as well. But the key thing is knowing what you're looking for. If you know what you're looking for, your trading does become a lot easier. If you don't know what you're looking for, then everything that comes your way looks like a potential trade. And then you become anxious. Is that a trade? Is that not a trade? You don't know. So yeah, trading becomes very, very stressful. But if you know exactly what you're looking for, and what time you're looking for it, then trading just becomes a process. Not easy. It's not easy still, even with that. But it becomes a process which you can follow and find consistency in. But even through that, you will go through periods of drawdown, losing streaks, so on and so forth, which is still something you have to battle through. But yeah, that's what I'll be keeping a close eye on for pounds. NZUSD is nowhere near my level, so this one, I won't even send an alert for because it's not even next to the level I'm looking to trade from. This is the level I'm looking to short from. So if it's relatively close, I will put an alert in because I want to make sure I know when it is at that level. But there's no real point in me putting an alert because even if we do make a move today to get that to that level, I wouldn't even want to short that because it's too aggressive of a move. So there's no real point in me focusing on NZUSD today. Aussie dollar, I don't like as much as pound, so I just focus on pound. Euro USD, I don't like as much as pound, so I focus on pound. Pound yen's not too far away, so I could probably send an alert for pound yen because that could continue to fall, and maybe by New York session we end up there. So definitely have to keep a look at pound yen. Silver, I need this one to spike a little bit lower first, but that could happen New York session with the news today. So I'll keep an eye on silver. Gold, I need a bit more development there. So again, probably won't focus on gold either. And NZCHF, again, looking for a massive pullback. No real point of me setting an alert because we're not going to do that in one day. And even if we do, it's going to be too aggressive of a move for me to short. Way up to the rest of the day, mate. Well, working on elevating traders now will take up quite a lot of my day, to be honest. So that's kind of what I'm focusing on majority of the time. Outside of that, could work on reviewing my trades from the past month. But from like 7 p.m. onwards, just resting, chilling. I don't like to do work in the evening. Anything strenuous, really. That's the time of resting and getting ready for bed. So yeah, evening I like to keep it free. Lauder, yeah, looking to do longs, but only from 1.28480. Could be too far, but we shall see. Man, I need to coin that phrase because I keep saying that, and Lauder seems to be taking it from me. I'm joking. Okay, so pound USD 1.28480. Okay, that's around here. We could get there. I mean, I'm also looking at that level as well, Lauder. I'm looking at that area there too. Because this is one zone here, which is the retest of that high, but maybe pound USD wants to come a little bit deeper. Because I whip out a Fibonacci, the 50% only comes into play there as well. I do like my 50, so I wouldn't be surprised if we come and retest that area, which will obviously hit you at level 2 or that price as well. The only reason why I'm looking at this level first is because number one, it's a big level. We rejected it really aggressively, and number two, there's a lot of momentum in the market for pounds, so we might not see that bigger pullback, and I'm happy to get involved there as well. So that's the reason why I'm looking at that level too. But yeah, your area down there, I'm definitely considering as well. And if we come a little bit deeper, I'll see what we can do. But as you said, we shall see. Yeah, exactly. Again, I'm not really an evening type of guy. Even when I was in school, I didn't like to revise during evenings because I wasn't really retaining the information. I'd rather do it early during the day, during the afternoon. But yeah, when it's like 7 p.m. onwards, I mean, sure, if I need to do something, I will, but I like to keep it free. So yeah, I have linked the Discord channel at the top of the chat. You guys can't miss it for elevating traders. Make sure you go check that out. Completely free if you want to join. So if you want to see share trading setups, I share my setups there as well. Discuss about other ideas. People discuss about ideas they have. So if you want to join that, feel free to go do so. It is at the top of the chat. So check that out. Okay, thank you, Lord. I appreciate that. We'll catch you tomorrow. Tomorrow is another day. But yeah, guys, if you have enjoyed today's stream, please be sure to smash the like button. Thank you to everyone who has liked the stream so far. But if you haven't done it yet, please be sure to like the stream before you leave. And of course, make sure you subscribe as well if you haven't subscribed to the channel too, and hit the bell so you don't miss out on any streams or uploads because you will be notified. But yeah, guys, really do appreciate you coming onto the stream. Thank you to my moderators as well for helping out, and of course, everyone else for chatting with me. I will be live again tomorrow as well, and the day after that, and the day after that, as usual this week. So if you're free between 10 a.m. and 12 p.m. GMT UK time, feel free to pop in to the stream. But appreciate everyone coming on. We'll see you all in the next one.